From the William B. Travis Building in Austin, Texas, we're keeping Texas energy on track. Here's your host, Bryce Doobie.
Welcome to Texas Energy on Track, the official podcast of the Railroad Commission of Texas. I'm your host, Bryce Doobie, joined by our producer and co-host, Nick Cranock. Nick, we are back.
We are, and this episode is especially exciting. Do you know why?
I do, but I think we'll let you explain a little bit on it, or
because we have our first reoccurring guest for his second appearance on Texas Energy on Track. So that makes it even extra special.
Yes, we are thrilled to be joined today by Scott Srofe, the Director of the Office of Public Engagement. Sir, welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So we've talked before about your role with OPE and what y'all do, traveling around the state, engaging with all sorts of members of the community and things, but that is not at all why we're here today. We've got actually kind of some pressing news to talk about as far as things Railroad Commission related. So welcome back. We're here to talk about an event this summer.
Yes, we are. We're here to talk about the Railroad Commission of Texas Regulatory Conference, also known as Conference. We often call it the conference because everybody knows what we are, what we do, for the most part, that are attendees at this conference. So it's great to be able to come together and reinforce some of those things, and especially talk about new things that are going on in our regulatory authority.
Yeah, and so for listeners out there and folks who don't know, this is an annual event, takes place in the summer. The intent for this really is for folks from the industry side to come in and get, like you said, sort of these refreshers, these learning sessions, workshops, things like that, to really explain some of the ins and outs and changes related to oil and gas regulation.
Right. We usually hold this event on the second week of July every year. We try to always host it right around the same time, if at all possible. This year, we are doing it again on the second week of July. We'll be there July 13th through 15th at the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock, Texas. We're looking forward to being back at Kalahari for our second year in a row, and we're just very excited about everything that's going to happen here this year, because we've got even some more special things that we've not ever done before. So this is a year of firsts for us in a lot of ways.
And you mentioned this is our second year being at Kalahari. I've only attended the conference last year once and came through, and it was a really great event. What kind of brought about that change in moving to this venue? Because I will say it's very convenient. It was really easy to get through stuff. I mean, what did y'all do before, and what's kind of been this evolution?
Well, kind of the history of the conference itself was Oil and Gas Division used to host their own meetings, and then Pipeline Safety used to host their own conference every other year. Well, it became decided that we should just put the two together and have a oil and gas and pipeline safety conference all in one. So we've been doing that since about 2017, I think it was. And then we've just been also meeting down here at the AT&T Conference Center in downtown Austin, right here by our offices. It was very convenient for us, but we just simply outgrew the space there. So we had to start looking for a new space where we could even grow even larger. And so last year was our first year at Kalahari. We loved it, and we are so glad to be back again, not only for this year, but insider information. We'll be there for next year as well.
Oh, wow. And last year, if I remember right, this was record-setting attendance. Y'all had a turnout.
Yes, we really did. Last year, we had just over 1,000 attendees, and that included all of our speakers and our guests and our attendees. We just really had a great year last year.
And there's also different other exhibitors and things as well, because I remember there was almost, when we came in, there was that long corridor, and there was all sorts of tables and booths for both different RRC divisions and then some outside folks as well.
Exactly. We started about 3 years ago having exhibitors and doing a sort of mini trade show. And so we're going to be back with exhibitors again this year. But last year we had about our record number of exhibitors. We had 42 exhibitors in the Railroad Commission Conference.
And just to clarify as well, this is not an OPE event like you mentioned. This is oil and gas, pipeline. There's a lot of different players involved in putting this whole thing together.
Exactly. I am the OPE director, and I am also the team lead for our regulatory conference planning team. But our planning team exists of folks from pipeline safety, oil and gas division, and OPE as well.
Very, very cool. Now, Nick, you were at, you've been at conferences before in the past. What do you think was the biggest change for you going to Kalahari? I mean, other than, there's a convenience with highways and all that and parking and things, but what having not seen previous conferences, what was your perspective?
Well, I live closer, so that made it easier for me. No, I think honestly, the while you were asking that question, the first thing that popped out to me was family friendly, because having it, I think, in downtown Austin for family-friendly things that you could quickly and easily get to, I just don't think it worked out that well because you're kind of stuck here in downtown Austin. It's not real, obviously, with the traffic, it's not easy to get places or to do family-friendly things. But at Kalahari, I mean, you're right there. If mom or dad is at the conference, the other parent, you could take the kids to the water park. You can go to restaurants. You can run them around. Use the energy. Get rid of the energy. So I think that there's just so much to do right there, that it's more family friendly while you're at the conference, and it's a bigger space for the conference, so it allows us to expand to have other things. Now we can have more exhibitors. I know the exhibitor area at the AT&T Conference Center was just kind of out of the way and it was hard to get to. Now, bam, it's right there. You got it. It's there. So there's just, I think, bigger and better opportunities, not only for the conference, but also for the families, and allows more people to come and do things together.
Right. We had a lot of our attendees remark about the fact that they could bring their families and they could take a couple of extra days and enjoy the resort itself. And then we also had some attendees that said, hey, we like the aspect of having team building events. Kalahari has a bowling alley. And they said, we got together with another company about our size and we did a little team building event in the bowling alley there at Kalahari. It was a great event for them. So we were glad to be able to see that people were utilizing the facility, not just as our conference space, but just as a resort, relaxing vacation time as well.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the folks, I would imagine, they're not necessarily local, and we're talking oil and gas industry in Texas. These are folks who are coming in from the Permian, who are coming in from Houston. So, I mean, taking some time to actually get here, you're not just, I'm just going to go here and listen to a 30-minute presentation on something.
Exactly. Yeah. Our attendees are usually from the Texas area, all over Texas, of course. And then not only that, but we have attendees from New Mexico, from Louisiana, from Oklahoma, Colorado, and last year we even had someone from New Jersey.
That is not one that would jump. I mean, we will welcome anyone, but I've never would have thought New Jersey coming for oil and gas regulatory conference in Texas.
Our audience is not only oil and gas operators and pipeline operators, we also have attorneys. And that particular one happened to be an oil and gas attorney from New Jersey that was here. And we also have consultants. Many consultants come in who are doing regulatory reporting for our operators. So they need to be up to date on all of the things that we're doing, any changes to forms, any changes to practices, any changes to whatever's going on. They learn about it at our conference.
And I hate to put you on the spot because you've described a bunch of these different topics. Do you know, or do you have any previews on some of the things that are going to be discussed this year offhand? It doesn't have to be too in the weeds on that, but if just a little teaser perhaps?
We're doing a lot of different changes. We're doing some workshops, interactive workshops this year. They're going to be really exciting, and those are on some of the drilling permit aspects. We've got some panel discussions this year. We're going to have a panel discussion with our assistant directors and assistant directors of all of our district oil and gas offices. So really looking forward to that. And this year, for the first time ever, we're going to be having sessions from our Surface Mining and Reclamation Division, as well as our Alternative Fuels Division. We've never had any of those before, so we're very excited to offer some sessions for those folks who are also under our regulatory authority.
And I will say I did sit in on the district office one last year, and that one was really, there was the dialogue in the room and the conversation on that one was great, and everyone really had a lot of questions with those assistant directors and just everyone talking. It was that one was super informative, and it was a packed house.
And this one is going to be even better because it's the district offices themselves, not just our assistant directors here in the Austin office, but this is all of our districts coming in together and saying, hey, well, this is what we're seeing in our district, and here's what we're seeing in our place. So it's going to be very interesting.
And I know every year also we have some sort of guest keynote speaker. Do we have that person identified yet?
Yes, we're really excited about this year's keynote speaker. It's not going to be your typical keynote. We're going to have a fireside chat with Chairman Jim Wright and Representative Drew Darby. We're very excited about having him come in, and so we're looking forward to him and his interaction with Chairman Wright.
I think one thing at the regulatory conference, one thing that it can give to people that are attending is that I don't know if things are constantly changing with the Railroad Commission and with Texas and with regulation, but things change enough where you said we got over 1,000 attendees last year. So this is something where we can give off a lot of information, a lot of changes, a lot of here's what we have the potential to regulate, or I know things are changing with geothermal and primacy and all that. So this is something where we can inform a large amount of people at one time, and then they can go back to their businesses and say, hey, look, this is changing. Here's what we need to look out for. So I think it gives a positive experience and also very informal. And with Kalahari being larger, I know some of the feedback we saw last year, because I spoke to some people while I was there, that it was just great to have these bigger rooms and more opportunities to learn about those changes so they can take it back and educate them as well.
Right. We don't only focus on the changes, we also focus on a lot of things that, hey, here's what the people that are processing these forms or processing these permit applications, here's what we're seeing that are causing issues for people. Here's where we see errors, common errors, and how to fix those errors and make things better. What we're trying to do with this whole conference is make the experience of workday life and regulatory practice come together in a much better fashion, because we really want to make it easier for people. We don't want to be a hindrance to those operators out there. We want to be a help. And that's what this conference is for. It is to be a help to those operators and help them in their daily work.
Yeah, I remember actually one of the other ones I sat in on just randomly, I think was specifically about certain types of permitting mistakes. It was a pipeline safety thing. And I remember Stephanie was up and presenting, who's a lot of the folks who've been on the show, actually, just to completely sidetrack my own line right here, that we've had here on the podcast before are going to be the speakers at these events. So it really is the subject matter experts talking on all of these different topics. But I do remember, like I was saying, Stephanie Weidman from Pipeline Safety came on and gave a whole presentation about some of the new changes that had come down from the federal side and things like that. And it was just really kind of interesting hearing, because there were people that were like, oh, this is the new thing that came out for 25, and here's how it's going to be implemented, and this is how you don't get your paperwork tripped up when you're working through these pieces.
Right. And not only is it going to be RRC speakers, but we also have some really great guest speakers coming in as well. We've got some folks from PHMSA, which is the Pipeline Hazardous Materials Safety Administration. Those are going to be pipeline people that are going to be speaking to our pipeline safety audience. And then we're also going to have some from the National Transportation Safety Board, which is very exciting to have those two ladies come in, and they're going to be doing some sessions for us. We're also looking into some other federal agencies that we might be able to have in, where I can't go ahead and name them right now because they're still in flux of whether or not they're going to get the approval to come. But I really am hoping and looking forward to them being here as well.
NTSB on its own is a great get. I've tangentially in a previous life, having worked in aviation, gone to the NTSB Academy, like the folks there, whether they're aviation, whether they're on the pipeline side of things, just phenomenal experts. So it'd be really cool to hear what they have to say.
Right. We also have some other great experts coming in from other areas in the pipeline areas, as well as some oil and gas folks that are coming in who are well renowned in the industry itself. So we're going to be very happy to see those people return or come back for the very first time.
I'm listening to this. I've never been to conference before. I'm a hypothetical operator or someone out there. What am I going to get out of this?
What are you going to get? You're going to get world-class learning. We do consider ourselves as the premier event in oil and gas regulation. And I think we really, really are, because we give top-notch education, we give top-notch sessions, we give presentation materials available for every session. So if you can't go to one session, you can still have the presentation materials available to you so you can learn on your own. And if you have any questions, RRC is always available to help you.
Why are we talking about this right now? We're recording this. It is early April, and we're going to release this episode. Nick's going to edit and produce and get this one out quick. What's the importance of us talking about regulatory conference in April for July?
The main importance is right now is early bird registration. Early bird registration ran from last week, April 6th, until April 26th. And so you're going to save well over $150 if you'll register right now. So register now. Go to our RRC website, www.rrc.texas.gov. Look for the banner that says Regulatory Conference Registration is now open. Click the link. You'll go to our Regulatory Conference website and be able to register to attend. If you do so by April 26th, you will save. It's only $650 now through April 26th. Then the price goes up to $750 in April through May. and the price will jump quite a bit if you wait till that late registration time. So please don't hesitate. Register today.
What does that registration include? What does that cover for you?
That's a great question. Registration includes entrance to all breakout sessions, all general sessions, all of your meals, breakfast, lunch each day, and break snacks. So you get a lot of information, you get fed really well, and you get networking time. You get those time with our exhibitors. You get time with other colleagues. You get time meeting new friends and new colleagues and new people that will help you in your daily work life.
And also, it is in a great space as well. That is a separate thing, but is there like a block rate, or how does all of that work?
We do have a room block. Our discounted room block is open and available right now. A standard 2-queen room for $239. There's never going to be a time you can get a room at Kalahari for $239. And great thing about Kalahari is it's free parking. Meals are all right there. You don't have to ever leave the resort to get fed or be entertained and learn, most importantly.
And you mentioned on the networking too, that brought up a ding for me, is that networking. So people attend these breakout sessions or the main featured events that we have. They start talking, maybe if it's here in downtown Austin, oh man, I wish I could, I'm going here, I'm staying over. When you're at Kalahari, you can be, hey, we're eating at this place. Oh, we're eating at this place too. It's right here. You can walk to it. You can continue the conversation. You can network that way. You can network maybe while you're at the water park. Who knows? But it gives that opportunity with everything, like you were saying, right there, that you can even expand of what they're learning on at the resort as well as at the conference.
Right. You can. And the networking, we're going to have even another brand new first this year, our conference mobile app. It's going to help with the networking aspect in tremendous ways, because the conference mobile app will have all the attendees who have opted into our attendee list registered and listed on the mobile app. So if someone wants to get together, you meet someone brand new in a session and you say, hey, let's be able to chat back and forth. You can do so right there in that mobile app. And the mobile app will have your full agenda, everything right there in the palm of your hand. We're really excited about the mobile app this year.
That's really, really cool. And again, just with that agenda piece to it, I just remember seeing you doing prep last year, coming in with your spreadsheets upon spreadsheets. This isn't one or two sessions. This isn't just one thing happening. Like, here's the 9 to 10, 11. Like, there's a lot of sessions there. I mean, this is, for lack of a better term, this is almost like a Comic-Con for oil and gas regulation, as far as so many things happening at once.
Right now, we have 76 sessions on our agenda and the possibility to add at least a couple more. So we're looking forward to the agenda working itself out, right? We're still frantically moving things around and placing things. So if you look at our website right now, you'll see an agenda, but that is a draft agenda. Please don't get upset saying, I'm not going to be able to make this session because of this session. We're still working out those details and trying to make sure that there are no huge conflicts for anyone on our agenda.
Is there any other incentive to be jumping on this sooner rather than later?
Right. We have a capacity this year. Even though Kalahari is larger, we're still limited to the rooms we have contracted. And so we have a capacity this year of 1,250 to 1,500. And we're really trying to, look at what is that last number. We're working toward trying to make sure everybody's comfortable, that we can fit everybody into the right rooms at the right place and time. So we are looking at 1,250 as maybe our cutoff for this year. And right now, we just opened registration a week ago. We have over 360 registrations in 1 week. So don't hesitate.
The windows for registration, you said April 6th, the early bird kicked off, and it runs through April
26th.
April 26th. Then the price is going to slide up a little bit.
It'll slide up to $750 on April 27th through May 24th.
Okay. And do we know, and we don't know when registration is going to close, but by that point, if you're listening to this in late June, it might be a little too late.
Registration absolutely closes June 24th, no matter what, unless we sell out before then.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for stopping by to talk with us a little bit about Regulatory Conference. I think this is going to be an exciting one, and I look forward to seeing all the work that you guys have put into it.
Thanks. We always look forward to each and every year, because each and every year we do more and more, and we try to do it better.
So I'm excited for conference, Nick. I think it should be a really good time. Last year was really interesting because I think at that point I'd only been with the commission for a couple months. So it was like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on. It was really, like Scott mentioned, just a premier learning experience on oil and gas regulation.
Yeah, I think people that even come every year, they're going to learn something new. They're going to see something and even get refreshed on things that maybe they forgot about. But yeah, I think it's a great space. While you're there, what you could listen and get caught up on Texas Energy on Track episodes on your favorite podcast app. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Audible. We're on Amazon Alexa. We are out there. So all you have to do is have a mobile device. You can listen to us at Kalahari at the regulatory conference. I think we're going to be there as well, maybe recording, so you can come maybe see us. I don't know, but we will have a presence there for sure. Make sure you subscribe so you get those notifications when new episodes come out, and then follow along on X. We are at TXRRC. Railroad Commission of Texas on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can search for us on YouTube, Railroad Commission of Texas, Instagram at Railroad Commission of Texas. So we put a lot of good information out there on social media, and that's all for you. So you guys can continue to see stuff, not only the podcast, but also other things going on with the commission.
And as always, too, as Scott mentioned, if you need to register for this conference or find any of our other resources, rrc.texas.gov. That is our website for all things Railroad Commission, including regulatory conference registration. So jump in early, get those early bird rates while you can. They close out on April 26th. But as always, thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is Texas Energy on Track, the official podcast of the Railroad Commission of Texas, and we'll talk to y'all soon.